Well, hello there. It's the Archivist from tradingcardarchives.com, and I'm here this morning. I'm actually filming this Wednesday morning, which is a very strange time for me to be filming. But that doesn't mean I get coffee, so it is cards and coffee. I don't know, my schedule's been weird, and I haven't been able to film the way I wanted on a Tuesday night. So yeah, I think anyway, I'll try to get back on track. But anyway, we're here today to look at Kayou's newest TCG. So this is a trading card game. A lot of times people call everything that we open on this channel TCGs, uh, but that's not exactly true because most of the things we're opening, like the vast majority, are not games, or they're not meant to be games. They're meant just to be collectibles, to be put in a binder, to be organized, to be looked at, to look cool, right? That's all they are, really. They don't really have any gameplay element. Um, this, though, is an actual TCG. And so Kayou has a history of making trading card games, like a long history. They made the Hero Battle games for Marvel, of course, about 5 or 6 years ago now, and those were a hallmark in their stores. So in their stores in China, they always had at least 3 or 4 tables dedicated to playing Hero Battle, whether it was the Marvel version or the Ultraman version or the Three Kingdoms version or whatever version. But yeah, the Marvel one was huge for them for many years. But then they lost the Marvel license, and they've been trying to basically like reclaim that. And so they tried a Three Kingdoms version, like 4 or 5 times. And I haven't actually looked at the very recent version, but I'm guessing it's not very good either. Like none of them were really good games, and so they didn't go very far. And then they've taken their biggest franchise, My Little Pony, and created a TCG from that. And the way the TCG got released is pretty interesting, actually. There are 6 different starter kits. So that's what this is. So this is one of the 6 starter kits. Each one featured a different pony. I have 3 of them here, but I was going to give 2 away. So as soon as we get to 2,500 subscribers, which is really soon, if you're not subscribed, I highly recommend you get subscribed because the next giveaway is going to be soon, and you would be helping us get there by doing that. Um, but yeah, you definitely want to know about that because there are two of these in the giveaway and one of these. So yeah, you would definitely be able to pick one up. But this is neat. It's like a glitter printed box. I assume it's going to have rules in it. I assume it'll have, a starter deck in it, so we can kind of get an idea of what a deck of this set looks like. And then over here is sort of the main way that the product is distributed randomly, and this is the booster box. There's really only one. There's 2 now, but they don't have like 10 yuan, 5 yuan. It's not working like that. It's only sold in this configuration, which looks like a 2 yuan box to me. But it doesn't actually say on it anywhere. It's got the new Kayou logo. BP01 is the set designation. And then it does have a set list over here with CR being the top rarity. 12 of those all the way down to PRs at the very bottom there. And lots of middle rarities. There'll be 191 total cards in the set. So that is My Little Pony TCG. The boxes are also a little bit more expensive. So these cost about $20 and these cost about $40. I'll show you now. Let me pause while I set it up, but I'll show you where I bought these from. Because I recommend you get them there too. I've looked everywhere and I still think Max Card, who I'm going to show you, it has the best prices on these. But yeah, let me be right back. All right, and I'm back, and here's the site. Yeah, so the website is Max Card. It's maxcard123.com. I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, this is where I get pretty much all of my pony cards these days. Max has been a My Little Pony seller on eBay for many years, really well trusted in the community, and then last year started this proper store. And so now you can buy pretty much any Kayou cards through him. You see here he's got the Saint Seiya, he's got the Naruto, uh, all kinds of even Shining Soul stuff, Miku. And so yeah, he does have the second. This is the second series box for the My Little Pony TCG. I don't have that box yet. It just came out. I'm hoping to get one, but yeah, that's the second edition already. We're looking at the first edition today, but I kind of want to just show you where he sells all these. There's the regular pony cards. You can get those too. Gosh, he has a lot on his website. I always forget. And I have a lot more coming. I have like a whole, what, like a $300 box from him on the way still. So yeah, there'll be a lot of pony cards here. Gosh, where were they? They're like at the last page, I guess. Oh, there it is. So there's the TCG. Where are the starter kits? Here are the starter kits. And this price scared me at first too, but that's not the actual. That's the price if you want a full case of them, which is this many. But if you just want one of the boxes, you can just get that too. So if you just want the Twilight Sparkle box, $16.99, right? Or the Rainbow, the Rarity, the Applejack. And so yeah, those are the starter kit boxes. Now, I know where to buy this. I showed you that. I have boxes of it here. I have more boxes of it coming. I don't know anything else about the game. I haven't been able to find. I've watched other people open this product. I've actually watched a few people open this product, and they'll know like all the rarities and that kind of stuff. But nobody has really explained the rules yet. And so my hope today is to kind of help everybody understand the rules a little bit. I don't know if we'll be able to get all the rules understood, but we're gonna try. We're gonna see what we can do here. So here's what we got in the box. Quite a lot, actually. I'm thoroughly impressed. There's a lot of packaged cards here that we'll take a look at. That looks like more than one deck, actually. And very cool card back too. Then we got a couple of Kayou packs, 3 packs actually in there. So that's pretty nice. And then yeah, a rule book. That's what I was hoping for. So now, this is where we're going to be spending our time. So my plan is to basically, like, I'll show you this, and then I'm going to pause. I'm going to go translate and figure this whole thing out, and then I'll come back and try to explain the game to you. So at first glance, it looks very Pokemon-like. This is the play board, of course. And so you've got, like staging areas for players, decks, probably discard piles, but I'll translate this sheet and let you know. And then on the back are the actual rules. So there they are. So yeah, I'll take some pictures here and just kind of get this all translated, and then I'll come back and explain how this game works, and we'll take a look at the cards. So yeah, let me pause here and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I've spent some time with this now. I feel like I kind of understand it. I wouldn't say I know the rules well yet. I haven't looked at any cards, for example, other than these, but I do kind of get what they're going for. It's kind of an interesting game concept. The basic idea is there's a story that both players are kind of playing through, and you have like a separate story deck and sort of play deck. You'll make like a 50-card deck to play from, and then you'll make a 15-card deck that is your story. And so as the game goes on, you're going to flip your story cards over to show what happened. And so these are story cards, and these are scene cards. And then this is like an incident card or a plan card. This is a prop or weapon kind of sort of thing. This is a protagonist card or main character card. And then this is a role card, or sort of what the main character is doing right now. And so all those cards work together to make the game work. This is explaining the game setup here. So basically how you start the game and how the story cards move across there when they flip. And then there is sort of conflict resolution over here. They don't really use the word battle ever. It's more like interfere, and but again, it's a different kind of game, so they're using words that I think make more sense in the pony universe. It's not like they don't want to use the word war in battle, because that's not really what's happening, right? It's more that there's a story going on and you're interfering with the story, or you're helping the story move along. Is kind of how it goes. But that's cool. That's neat, actually. These rules are pretty well done. What I might do is do like because I have a scanner, I can scan these rules at a nice high resolution, do a proper translation, and maybe I can post those on the internet so people can see them on the website here. For now, though, let's take a look at the cards. So there are actually quite a few cards in here. Honestly, more than I expected, because it says that decks are 50 cards, and this is a lot more than 50. I mean, it looks like about 100 cards to me. But I guess we'll see sort of what's actually in here. I mean, maybe it is a full deck. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Okay, but this is a protagonist card. So this is basically one of the main character cards. You'll get one with every deck, every starter deck. You can also pull these. So these can be pulled from those packs. And these look very nice. They remind me of almost SC level treatment. And then we have some event. These are like the scene cards, so where things can happen in the game. And so there's a different card back for those. And then in a deck, because this is a TCG, you're allowed to have multiple copies of the same card. And so in this case, you can see we have a lot of copies of this card in the deck here. But that would be part of your like story deck. Then we've got, what we got here? We've got some props. So these are the gameplay card backs here. These are the story card backs. And so that's a book prop. Why don't I go ahead and translate that card so we can start to figure out kind of what the cards do in this game. So I'll be right back in a second. I'm just going to translate this. All right, and I'm back. They're not too bad actually. So this one's called Reference Books. And what it does is it gives the character one inspiration. So the character has to be holding the book, but if they're holding the book, they can get one inspiration, which is, I think, the primary sort of stat that sort of says how things are, how good they are. This one will protect a character, so you can choose a character in your adventure area, and it'll protect them from being removed during the communication phase, which I don't exactly know what that means yet, but it's one of the phases where it's basically the combat phase, but they call it communication because, again, friendship is magic. This card lets you draw 2 cards, so a very simple effect, right? Like from any CCG, but it's starting to show you that this is like a proper card game now and not, just collector cards, because that literally says draw 2 cards on it. And then this one will give your character 2 inspiration. And you have 4 copies of that in your deck. And then moving on here, these are the story scene cards. So they sort of, you see there's like a 1, 2, 3, and 4 on them. So these kind of tell the story of what's going on in the game at that point in time. And so why don't I translate the first one so that we can understand it, and then we'll just kind of guess what the others mean. But I'll be right back again. Let me translate this. All right, and I'm back. And yeah, it's exactly that. It's kind of a fun, it's kind of a neat little story. I bet this game's a lot of fun to play, actually. I can't wait for the English version. But yeah, this is basically, here it says like when the story progresses, draw a card. And then this is saying something like consult the reference book to find the source of harmony. And then on the back, it's talking about basically this endless darkness coming to the Pony Kingdom, and they have to go to a velvet castle to find this reference book in order to figure it out. And so as this story progresses here, you'll see that's kind of what they're doing. And so these cards, again, are your story cards. They go kind of across the middle of the table. And then this is going to be characters. So got Spike here. Lots of Spike, actually. It's a very Spike heavy. I guess that makes sense for a Twilight Princess deck. Yeah, so these are going to be like role cards, basically. And I wonder... Ooh, that one's kind of neat. I wonder how many of these we have, actually. I'm kind of curious. This actually, yeah, so this probably is a 50 card deck now that I think about it. So these cards go with the story cards here and make up your sort of 15 card story deck. And then these cards go with the main deck and would be the 50. So this would be 50 here. So that's kind of how you set this up a little bit. Wow, how cool. Okay, so that is well, interesting. I always love learning about new TCGs, and it's kind of cool to see one where the focus is more on like telling a story and less on, just beating up the other person pretty much, because they're kind of all conflict resolution games. But to have one where it's like telling a story, that's a really cool concept. I like that. It reminds me a little bit of that Arabian Nights game I have. But okay, let's open some of the packs now. So these packs came with the starter kit. And so you'll see here we have a card like this, right? So this is a scene card and a role card. What I can do is I can translate both of these. So I can kind of tell you what's different about the card I just pulled versus the cards that are there, because you'll see they have little rules on them. They say a different thing. So let me see if I can translate that. I don't know, it's a little small, but I'll try to get it. I'll be right back. Yeah, so they really are just location cards. This is the Cloud City or something, Cloud Town, and this is the Oak Library. And they just basically will inspire different characters that are at those locations in a different way. And so this is now a card that we could put into that deck if we understood how it all worked and thought it would be better, right? This looks like a very nice card, so I'm guessing it's a little bit of a higher rarity. SR maybe? Yeah, I can't tell super well, but I think it's an SR. And this would be what's called like a role card. And so you have your main character, and then this is the role that they're playing right now. I'll go ahead and sleeve that. And then we got a prop here, just a book. And we got an Applejack and another Twilight. And remember now that this Applejack wouldn't work so well in this deck, right? This would go better in an Applejack deck. But it's interesting to think about that, right? Because you could maybe there's a way to mix and match and have like two ponies that are friends be in a deck together. That might be interesting. Although all the starter decks are singular focused. But in Magic and stuff, you often get people mixing and matching the different mana colors together in unique ways. There's another location. That's a very cool card. I really love the I love the artwork on that. That's neat. And then we've got 3 characters here. Again, this is kind of a neat, I mean, very neat set, actually. I'm really impressed. I'm impressed by the design work, the sort of depth of the rules. I really want to do a full translation of that and learn all that I can about this story system, because it sounds like a really fun system for a card game, and such a different way to do it, too, because if the 2 players, like if you're competitive, and of course it's going to be different, but if you're just playing at home with your friends, you could actually like maybe role play and like act out the game, and it might be kind of, super fun to do that. So yeah, I like stuff like that. There's a very cute Pinkie Pie there. And then we got another location card. So this is similar to this, but see, it's full color. So, but I think it's the same kind of card. It's just maybe a special version of it because it is full color. But that's a location that you can go to. And then we got another prop book here. We get a lot of books. And Fluttershy. Awesome. All right, then let's get into the actual packs now. So what we did there is we opened a starter kit. So that was basically what you know, if you were going to start playing this game, you would go to the store and you would be like, oh, well, my favorite pony is, you know, Twilight Sparkles, so I'm going to get that starter kit. And that's how that would work, right? But if you really want to, you know, if you really want to get into a TCG, you've got to get more cards than are just in the starter deck. And so that's what this is all about. This is the full box release. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to open it. Do we go like this? What do we do here? Oh yeah, there is like a strip across this. Man, Kayou is good at designing boxes that are hard to open, which is that's good because that means they're harder to search. But here, that's maybe too hard to open. There we go. Okay, I got it. Good, good. And then on top here, okay, so this is just gonna have packs in it. So why don't we open? Gosh, I don't know what time is it. We're 20 minutes in. Why don't we do like 6 more packs? That'll give us kind of a pretty good idea of what is in this box. And then I will go back now and do, after that I'll do the translation work and really kind of figure this game out, and then maybe we'll do another video where I present all that translation and also show more cards then. Cool. Okay, we got a some kind of information card. I'm sure it's just a redemption thing. It looks like it has some expiration date. So I'm sure this is some sort of a redemption program. But let me pause and translate this before we move on, just in case it's something else. But I'll be right back. Okay, and yeah, it is a point redemption system. So if you, I can't do it because I don't have a WeChat account, but if you have a WeChat account and know how to use this, that QR code will get you a points for their system that you can then redeem. We got a gold card here, which I assume is pretty fancy. I mean, it looks fancy, but it's another location. And then really nice, this is a very nice card. Can't tell exactly what that is, but that feels really fancy. Let me see if I can do some ID work on this card and try to understand more about what it means. I'll be right back again. Sorry I'm pausing a lot, but I really need to understand this game well, and I'm trying to learn. I'll be right back. And I am back, and that is one of the CRs. So this is one of the top rarity cards in the set. We did extremely well, as usual. I don't know how I always get so lucky. But yeah, that is one of the highest tier cards. I'll kind of show you on the pack how that works. But yeah, down here you can see CR would be part of this, part of the rarities you can pull here. But yeah, that's great. And those cards are selling for about $20 on eBay. Although I don't know, the eBay prices on these seem very random to me. I don't think they've settled. Because people are selling like the SRs for... That looks really nice, actually. It's hard for me to tell the difference between... Because this card has such nicer foiling on it than any of the others. But I think it still is just a regular card, but it doesn't, I don't know. I'm going to sleeve it because that's nicer foiling. And then we got a story card. So this is part of a story. So again, we could now replace, if we wanted, we could say, okay, well, instead of doing this, where they go to the water, we'll do this, where they go to the village. Now, I don't know if you can actually do that replacement. That probably wrecks the deck. But that's the kind of the concept or the idea behind it. That's why I really want to learn more about this game, because it feels very kind of restrictive to have it be a story like that. Like imagine if Magic did that and your deck had to have like a story that you could play through. Like you wouldn't be able to just have all kinds of random cards because, you know, your story would have to make sense. Sort of, I guess. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it doesn't need to make sense. Oh, here's another location card. And then we got some character cards here. I like that the artwork is new too. Like this isn't just reused artwork from the trading card game, at least not that I can tell. As far as I can tell, this art is, you know, newly selected for this game. That's kind of fun too. And I actually like really like the full art kind of look of those, and these guys over here are super cute too. I'll show you the point card again in case anyone is redeeming those. Ooh, we got a doggo. Oh, nice. There's another roll, or this is a prop card. Prop card. That's what we call that. A roll, and then we have another story. Great. So there's actually quite a few different stories. It sort of reminds me of, this is going to be a strange one if you don't know it, but Decipher's old Lord of the Rings game had a kind of story aspect to it like that, where there was kind of like a deck that would have all the different things that were going to happen in it. Otherwise, I don't, I haven't seen a game like that in a long time, which is why it's kind of so intriguing for me. But let's keep looking. Here's an apple orchard. Ooh, really nice. There's some beautiful cards in here. They've done such a good job, I think, with the framing and the color and the way the light works on that. It just looks really cool. Oh, wow. Huh. There's a lot of these. Like, I feel like if you could mix and match them, you could create some very unique storylines here. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm definitely going to scan those rules like right after this, and then I'll see if I can get a guide to the game posted so that people can learn how to play this. Because it doesn't seem like there's that many rules on the cards. If you could learn, you know, enough of what the cards mean and your own decks, you could probably play a game of this. I think more easily than Hero Battle. Like Marvel Hero Battle had a lot of rules on every card, and so if you really needed to memorize them all or have a translation guide like right there with you in order to play that. But this one, not so many different rules. Like you could probably memorize basically what, you know, for these you just need to know what the number means really. So it's not too bad, I don't think. And here's our last pack for today. Although again, we'll definitely open these once more once I have once I get more of them, and also once I get some translations done. But yeah, I should get more of these in a couple days. Actually, I should get a bunch more of these, like 3 more starter decks and another box of that. So I'll be able to give away a lot of this, which will be nice. I love giving away cards. So yeah, again, if you're not a subscriber, get subscribed because the next giveaway is coming up soon. Not running right now, but soon. And when it starts, you'll want to be in it because there are, gosh, there must be almost 60 prizes. It's pretty intense over there. Okay, so but for now, we'll end the video here. I learned a lot. I am thoroughly impressed, actually. This is so much better than the Three Kingdoms TCG that they made. I mean, there's a lot going on in here. It gives me faith that Kayou is going to support this game moving forward. And so, yeah, I actually can't wait to see the second box and see if there's new stories in there. Because that's kind of how this game continues to evolve, is to have more different storylines to play. But for now, yeah, we had a fun time looking at this together. I guess our top pull is probably this CR here. That's almost definitely the best looking card that we pulled today. And yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Good game here, Kyle. Good job. But for now, I'll say goodbye and hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye, everybody.